So,
man, Jay, what happened, man? What going on with y'all, man?
So no, ain't nothing happened. So we on our little thing where we spend our time together. We walk and that's our time. So we was having a spirited conversation.
Spirited.
And I say because everything with me and Amy is spirited. So
that means it gets loud.
It's always
combative,
serious.
Okay.
Intense.
So I'm like, and it starts off very simple.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what, man? And to no offense to anybody, but we were
disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Okay.
So no offense to anybody.
If we need a disclaimer, it's real.
Right. But I'm talking about, I don't want anybody to feel offended by what I say, but I was asking her, I said, if you were single, I said, would you, and you're in the position that you are today, I said, would you date a guy that worked at McDonald's? Like an entry, I ain't talking about the district manager. I'm talking about the fry cook. Like, would you date the guy that's flipping the burgers, putting them together? And she's like, I would probably give him the opportunity.
Really?
And I'm like, what?
Really?
Like, and all that you are and everything that you've accomplished, you're telling me you would give. And again, disclaimer.
Yeah.
It's no offense, but I just feel like we work way too hard.
Well, you literally said a fry cook, bro. Like that's our
entry level.
sons. That's our son coming in to work. You know what I'm saying?
But there are adults
True that
may have, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with
it.
You got to start somewhere.
I'm trying to think realistically. Like,
I mean, babe, I was a bar back at Peppers in Riverdale.
You was a kid though. You was still young.
Like,
no, we're talking about at this age.
We're talking about in our 40s. Right now, where you are, who you are now. If you were single, if you was a single man. Now,
so back to what she said though. What she said, yes.
She said yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you wouldn't. That's
why you gonna answer for me?
Answer the question.
I know good and well she's not doing that.
You don't know what I'm doing. I just told you yes.
Okay, so this is spirited part.
This is the spirited part. This is where it gets, because I know you're lying.
I'm not lying.
I've been with you for 20 years. I know you're lying. You're
So
not giving
why would you think she would be lying
Jason
about
was
this,
offended,
bro?
basically.
Like,
He was offended.
It was an offense.
Yeah.
As hard as I've worked all this time, and everything that I had to do, you're gonna get a job that Jaden would work. If that's who you would date, that guy. Like, you must be robbing the cradle. Like, who is this person?
It's not a robbing the cradle. You said at this age today, and I said yes. Like, don't ask me a question you don't have the answer to.
Explain.
Why do I have to explain myself? That question was today, and all that you accomplished, everything you've done, would you date a fry cook? I said yes.
Okay.
That is the sentence.
And I'm now asking you to elaborate.
So what would be what are your considerations when you say something like that? That you wouldn't have a problem with? Like, what is it? Just a personality thing, a heart thing? What is it?
It's none of that. Would you date somebody that's a fry cook? Yes.
Why? I mean,
that is the answer.
There's no more to it.
It's no more to it. There's no more to it. There's nothing else.
So, Jay, what's your...
He's mad because he felt like he's been working hard all this time.
I could have just been working at McDonald's.
I have to do all this.
Hey, look, and my queen would go for a fry cook.
Right. So you telling me I can hang it up right now and go be a greeter at Walmart and we'd be good? No. I would be the... listen, I know my wife. Once she seen that $300 check for working 80 hours.
And it's time to pay bills. Hey, boy, you say it's you now.
You say you work 80 hours, bro?
we didn't say married.
Y'all mixing
All right, so
it
we
up.
mixing it up.
Y'all mixing it up. I didn't say that man lived with me.
You're right.
I didn't say he had to pay bills.
Okay.
I didn't say.
But you would give him a chance.
I would give him a chance. Why not?
Because that's what those things lead to, though. When you give a man a chance, that's
when you
what
date someone.
that's the purpose of.
Look, let me be clear. And let me give a disclaimer. If me and Jason did not work out, I would be single for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, same here.
Single. What does single mean? Single. Like, you ain't my man, I ain't your woman. We enjoy each other's company every now and then. Don't look for me to further anything other than A friendship.
So now, so that brings a little
friendship.
clarity. That
Yeah,
brings
right,
clarity.
So that's clarity.
So,
See,
he didn't ask that. He said, "Would you get look at the question?" I answered the question with a sentence.
Leaders do ask the right question.
Yes.
That's the right question.
so here
And
is
so so at this age right now, would I date a fry cook? Yes.
okay.
Because I'm not looking.
So let's flip the question.
I'm never looking for another marriage.
No. Okay. 'Cause
Okay, so now that's a real thing.
Right,
though.
but there's a
Because-
difference. I didn't mean that we
No, she
were
said
married.
something real. She said,
Oh no,
okay, so
that's
this-
right.
So, you're not even saying the marriage didn't
I'm
involve.
talking about you've been single, not married. This is just you in a
didn't ask
perspective of a single woman, not a I've been married for this long
Right.
perspective. I'm saying you was a single woman, you coming up, you never been married, and I guess that you're right. Let me
You
ask the
needed
right
those
question.
context.
Right, let's give a little more context. So, and this goes for everybody in the room, all of us. Let's take marriage off the table. We've never been married. We're searching. We're now at this place. We've still had the same career path. We've still had the same success. And we're looking for companionship,
Right.
not to stay single.
Okay.
We're looking for
From
companionship.
that perspective.
Okay.
Would you date a fry cook?
Yes.
Say less. Next person. Because I know this is not the truth.
Okay, yeah. Say
Right,
that.
right. Who else? Can we now go to the next person? Because I know for a fact we're going to go to Constance now. The next lady.
I would really want to know that.
I'm trying to be realistic here. If I saw him in McDonald's, like he tried to get my number from the fry basket, no. If I happen to meet a nice, good-looking guy who had a nice personality and I met him out and about, and then as we got to know each other,
Then
I
you
came
found
to
out.
know that he worked at McDonald's, I wouldn't just drop him like, oh, nigga, you at McDonald's?
Not
That's a no-go.
just working
He
at
would
McDonald's,
eventually be
a
dropped.
fry cook.
He's a fry
I mean,
cook.
doesn't
Not
matter.
the general manager.
the position is irrelevant. And
Right.
you're-
No,
You could be a manager. You can make
position
some
is
good
everything.
money
Okay,
Oh,
as a
okay.
manager or
Okay,
general
okay.
manager at McDonald's.
Oh man, there's people making
Okay.
real
We're talking
livings out there.
entry level,
Okay.
We're talking entry level.
$12 an hour.
Because if you're on fries, you're gonna be at the register. If you don't register, you're gonna be making a hamburger. You go where the work is at.
Right.
That's not what we're saying here.
I guess
We're
if-
referring to entry level position.
Okay.
If I don't know that I would be serious with a guy who works at McDonald's, because if you're working an entry level position at McDonald's, then that's telling me some more things about your character. So
So it's giving you some context.
right,
Too.
it's
Right.
letting me know that you can't get a real job, which means you probably have a background, which I don't want those problems, which means so entry level position. Would I converse and entertain? Perhaps. Would I get serious with them? No.
Probably not.
He said
that's better
dating.
perspective.
He
No,
said
I
dating.
said for companionship.
Seriously.
So yeah, he said companionship.
Talking about yes.
So now I'm wondering. Let's turn it up a notch. If I was a fry cook,
Oh man. Oh.
oh,
Hold on now. You talking about from the
we talking about now.
hold on.
We talking about
Do y'all
now.
still have the same history?
Wait a minute.
No,
but
this is real life.
But which McCullough never answered.
No, he's asking her.
He's,
so
he's
this is
changing the question though.
but no.
Would
So
you
making
date
it
a
about
fry
him.
cook?
So we want to do the general question.
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
The general question.
Then we'll come to that one. Because that's an interesting question.
Well, yeah,
That's
no,
a perspective.
generally.
Because I think I thought she would have said no.
Right, but us guys are going to answer too, and I want to know our perspectives because mine is totally different.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Corinne.
Let's
see what
see.
you got.
Would you date
a
a McDonald's
an
employee?
entry level?
Entry
Like
level
a grown
40s.
woman?
in your
In your
40s.
40s.
Jeez.
You're a grown woman.
I would probably say no.
And your reason for saying no?
I would say no because
He wasn't raised like that.
You live too much life
I've lived a
and done too
long
many
life.
things. To,
I don't know. I guess I would say no, but then I would need to know. I would need to know context. I would need to know, like, why are you there? Do you have plans to, like, elevate there? Are you
What if he
looking
wants to
for
be a
something
rapper?
else?
It's immediately no. It's immediately
McDonald's
no.
I don't
Just
know.
the side hustle.
No.
It's immediately
can he
no.
spit?
So McDonald's.
40.
Say, yo, let him spit.
He's 40. He's 40.
No.
No.
40-year-old spitter.
No.
In Atlanta.
No.
I wouldn't do
Absolutely
it
not.
unless I knew, like, he, this was like, yeah, I'm doing this to, and then my plans are this or something like that. But just some flat out entry level, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
See, that sounds to me like an honest answer. Both of those were honest answers. 2 out of the 3 were honest answers. Vince on you.
So would I?
Would you date
a girl that works at
a
McDonald's?
McDonald's employee?
So I think, like dynamic wise, we talking about companionship.
We talking
We talking
about
about companionship.
right because there are levels to dating. We
There
all
is.
know,
Yeah.
And it was a lot that was said without being said.
Yeah, definitely.
Meaning that, I'll probably give him an opportunity if he's good looking, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. We all know as men how we think.
Yeah.
Opportunities, yes. Companionship,
See, companionship, that's a different thing.
It's a whole
Because
different
when it
thing.
comes to companionship, I'm looking for a partner that inspires me. I'm looking for something that stimulates me intellectually. I'm looking, the little physical thing, that's cool, but
Yeah.
that's going to go away
Eventually.
quickly.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, after the first engagement, after a climax, your thoughts change.
Right.
When you climax,
Now you looking
your
like,
feelings change like,
ooh, she
who
looks
is
totally
this?
different.
what is happening? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
For real.
yeah. Don't even look the same.
So now it goes beyond the climax.
Right.
So now when it comes to that, a fry cook, I'm like, well, can you bring fries home? That's a
are the
thing.
fries gonna be fresh when you
You
get
can
there?
have all the fries you can eat, B.
Yeah.
So
Not
you didn't
McDonald's.
answer
So-
clearly.
So I'm saying that. Nah, I didn't answer.
No, you didn't.
I put some dynamics out.
Yeah,
but I
you
didn't answer.
did.
Would I date a fry? And well, obviously she would be a 40-year-old fry.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, she's going to be your age.
Of age?
Yeah, she's not
is.
20.
I'm saying like she's obviously
Yeah, she's
40.
not 20. She's 40.
She's
A whole 40.
Yeah.
And she got some kids that she just trying to push through and get through some
I
hard
don't know.
times.
Oh,
It
you
doesn't
had
matter.
all that
Okay,
stuff.
like,
She can't afford
You
those.
gotta answer the question straight up.
Listen, storyteller.
Right.
We gave you the question.
The question is there.
Wow. I mean, we probably don't connect on that level.
Right.
So would it be a no or a yes?
Right.
Most definitely a no.
I'm gonna have to just roll with no.
Why was that so hard
Because
for you?
people have stories, people have
That's what I was
Absolutely.
about to
I
say.
get
I'm
it.
like, there's some
I
get it.
So we gotta
undercurrents.
understand what's going on for the consideration.
Who cares?
I
What
get
the currency is. Would
Because
you?
now, I mean, we said companionship, not just
Companionship.
you know what I'm saying.
There's
Like,
a connection there.
there's connection.
But even if there's a connection, what are go ahead, and I'm gonna close this one out because I got a lot to say about this. Because remember,
say the question
this was a
again.
spirited conversation.
Repeat the question.
So, would you, at 40
Family
years
Feud
accomplished
Academy.
ed, never been married, single you,
At this age,
at this age,
You said I've never been married.
never been married, you're looking for companionship.
He said this, the you now though, like this is still
Right,
you.
right, right.
You still all
You still have
you.
an Apple Watch on.
right.
You
The
still have-
Jordans is still fresh.
You still have Gucci shades.
You know what I mean?
We're talking about you
Okay.
in the present.
Mr. Stay Fly.
Fry cook.
You
Entry
gotta.
level.
I'm different.
Okay, well,
I'm
how different are you?
Okay.
Well,
right, I'm like,
Amy
And I'm
Jr.?
going to explain my answer before I say my answer.
Okay.
no, say your answer.
No,
then
say the
explain.
answer, then
Yes.
explain it.
You would.
I would,
Okay.
You would
Please
date
explain.
You
I
would date a
would.
40-year-old fry cook.
but it would be dependent on her intelligence, her intellect, her look. You know, because I feel like I can inspire anybody.
Okay.
So it's like, people have hard times. I don't know if she went bankrupt. I don't know if if you're
That's
in
a
your
real
40s.
thing, though.
If
No,
you're in your,
bro.
it's a lot of different
So
dynamics.
happy.
Bankruptcy does not
This fool.
break you down
Well, divorce
to
can.
fry cook.
She
No,
could have been
it
a divorce.
doesn't.
She could have been.
No, you
know,
might be in financial ruin. We didn't say she had a second job. We're saying her income.
What's the movie with Mortimer and
Oh, you talking about trading places?
Trading Places? Right.
What about
they
it?
were billionaires. They went from being billionaires to being homeless.
But
on the
dog,
street.
but you got to think, bro. To
They were
be
evil
that,
as well.
you had to have. They were very evil. But there's a mindset that comes with that, though. You said, yeah, they were billionaires, but there's a mindset that comes with that should probably keep you off the fries.
Right. They would rather be in the street homeless than on the fry.
I guess I'm a little different because everybody is a decision away from homelessness.
So
Absolutely.
you
I
would be
agree.
sympathetically dating her.
It would have a lot to do with how she looks.
Not personality or
That's a real thing.
Well, the first thing
Like,
that would
yo,
attract
she
me,
fine.
can I be real with you?
Right, absolutely.
I keep it all the way
Keep it all the way
real,
real, bro.
Let me tell you something.
If you can put it down, I can pull you up.
Right. How nasty
Wow.
are you?
At 41 years old, if I go into a McDonald's, which I wouldn't,
Right.
Right.
We don't eat McDonald's, right?
but if I was to go into a McDonald's and I'm a single 41-year-old man and the fry cook is like I like him, physically,
So she
Right.
fine back there in her suit, with grease spots.
Right.
Then
The
I-
pants are fitting just right.
But I know how to
could fit a certain way.
I know how to see through all that.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
uniform.
I, know,
yeah, yeah,
I like
yeah.
to play with dolls, so I dress Constance up.
This
Right.
fool.
You feel what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean?
I see where you're going with
You
this.
see what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not looking at the non-slip shoes you wear.
Right. I'm looking at
I'm
the
looking
potential.
at the potential. You understand?
Okay, so again, we're talking about companionship.
Right.
Yeah. If I'm single and I'm 41, a single 41-year-old man is trying to find someone, and he's probably willing to settle. Think about it. I'm thinking from an empathetic place because I ain't been single in over 19 years.
Hey,
So
hold
but
on, man.
if I'm just instantly
Not
putting
willing
my.
to settle. There are
Listen to
single
me.
people. Hey, you single people
It's
out
hard
there.
out here
You
from what
don't
I
have to
understand.
settle.
You're
You
in
do not have
Atlanta.
to settle.
It's hard
Most of
out here
these
from where I
girls-
You
understand.
keep your standards and
What
keep
did,
your dreams
what's the
alive.
dude name that was in the group Immature?
Who?
Marcus
Marquise
Houston?
Houston.
Marcus Houston.
Yeah, he
so
dated
he just
20-year-old.
married a 19-year-old.
No,
He didn't
no.
just marry
He didn't
her.
just. This is
His
old
years.
news.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, married
I
to
guess
that.
the story
lot.
just coming out,
Yeah.
but they're
Well,
Well,
asking
it's
him.
it's
It's
resurfacing.
resurfacing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
one of the things that he said was, if I date somebody my age, she comes with kids, she comes with an ex-husband, she comes with, you feel what I'm
Baggage.
saying? And I'm like,
There's nothing wrong with that.
My guy, but
you
she's.
agree with that shit?
I'm cool on
I
19.
don't agree
That's a
with-
child.
I
Dog.
don't
Right, that's a
agree.
whole
That's a
kid.
child.
No.
Kid.
I'm agreeing with what he said
That
about
what comes with the
Right.
package.
the weirdo part for me was she's 19,
19,
bro. What do you
right.
have intellectually?
And
You're her
you were
father.
dating, or you were
Exactly.
looking at her
Right.
when she was
Yeah.
21
when
years
she
old.
was underage.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's a
as we
20-year difference.
elevate in our maturity, I'll just say age,
Right.
then you just need to accept the fact that whoever you're with
Is who you with.
comes with.
So let me make sure I make that very
Come
clear.
with.
Let me
Well,
hold
listen,
on.
you gonna come with other stuff.
Before we go on, let me make sure I make that very clear.
Oh.
I am not
Of
supporting
course, bro.
yes,
Of course.
be clear.
Of course.
him marrying a 19-year-old.
Of
I got a
course.
21-year-old son.
Absolutely,
Right, right, right.
understood.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but what he said was, I understood his reasoning
So
behind it.
So
but
you don't
still,
want the baggage.
What you mean?
You saying that you
don't want the
agree with the
baggage
statement
with-
because of the baggage. He's basically saying he don't want the baggage that comes with the woman.
So
his
he
age.
got a
His
19-year-old.
So he went and got
I'm
one
saying
someone
I
that's
don't
fresh
want the
off the boat.
baggage, so I'm just gonna deal. I'll deal with the baggage.
Right.
That would be my choice if I was.
And
Me,
I'm saying
And
the
the
fact
baggage
that
is she's frying
I'm
fries.
saying the fact that
Exactly.
you're a
And
certain
McDonald's.
age.
Yeah.
We're a certain age.
What
The
about
baggage
you?
comes,
Hold on.
and at this
Hold on.
age, we have to accept the
We
baggage.
have to
And
accept
I
what comes
think,
with that.
like in relationships or when people dating at our age that are single, that's the part they have a hard time settling with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It
like
is.
there is going to be baggage, and they don't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah,
They don't want
real,
that
'cause
baggage.
is real.
I
man.
don't want
Because,
it.
Baggage is
because
real.
baggage is trauma.
Yeah.
It comes
Yeah.
with a lot of it. So I get it. And I completely understand everyone else's point. And I actually agree with a lot of the points. But see, my way of thinking is a little different. So for me, the answer is an unequivocal no. Absolutely not.
That was the spirited part.
There is a listen,
no.
hell no. There's no way. Now, because and I say that because you got to realize
Why Amy look
the burden of because as men, our position is different.
Right.
Because as men, we're looked to be providers.
Providers.
We're looked to be
Right.
the caretakers, the one to make sure you're straight.
So I'm not about to get with a leech.
And that's exactly what it becomes.
Why?
Because
does
at
she have
12,
to be elite?
all money driven. Like,
at $12 an hour
But why does she have to be elite? What if she
with the
good
three
with her
kids
$12?
that you got.
What if she domestic
There's
like
no
a
way.
mug?
There's no way you can be good with $12.
Because
not
again,
in this economy.
because again,
What if
a
she's
mindset comes with it. There's a
So
mindset.
at $12 an hour, more than likely she probably has some assistance and things of that nature.
food, like
government assistance.
EBT and
there
stuff.
you go. I don't need that. That's not going to help me pay this mortgage. It's not going to help me pay this car note. It's not going to help me pay the bills that come with the mortgage. None of that helps that. So at $12 an hour, you can't even gas the truck. So what I need is, and I don't need your money, but I don't need to be able to carry your burden as well as mine. Because now what happens is you see how I'm living, and this is the way most people think. Well, if you living like that, then I should be living like that. There's no way that you should be driving a certain type of car because you're my woman. You're my companion. And I wouldn't feel comfortable living a certain type of life and not being able to provide that for you.
So what about to the
Companion and I guess people are different because my definition of companion and like
Yeah. It's a
that
companion.
doesn't say lifetime partner for
No,
me.
it
You know
doesn't.
what I'm saying?
when I'm saying
so
companion,
for a person
Yeah.
that I'm dating, I'm not
Dating is
providing
not-
those
yeah.
things.
For me to
for
call you a
Companion, that's a life
that's
partner.
a real thing. Like,
Right.
Like, if you my
Companion's a real
companion,
deal.
right. We're not talking about dating. Dating is
what
what Amy described. Right. We're me and her. That's
You
my
guys,
companion.
you guys are companions.
We in this for
you
life.
guys have companions in here.
Right.
They're now
Okay,
playing
okay.
companion.
Okay, it was
Oh.
would you date, then date.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
Date
it's
changed to
evolved
companion.
into companion,
Companion means
partner.
like friendship, and then
No,
and friendship
no,
to
no.
me-
Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
Let's
What
define
does
it.
companion mean?
No.
Hey, but I got a question. So
Yeah.
what about, and then we'll come back to what companionship is or what it means, what the definition of
So,
it is.
yeah.
But what about to the girl that just got out of prison and she got a felony on the record? Good girl, smart
That's
girl.
fine for her.
Right.
But,
But
I'm
is it
saying,
fine for you?
To date her.
That's the thing. That's fine. No,
Are
that's
you willing to
that's,
put up what comes with that?
But like, no, that's
There's
a
a
real
lot
thing.
of very intelligent people in prison.
I've seen a lot of intelligent women come out and make something of themselves from prison. So you're
But
right.
it's hard for them to do it. They got to know somebody, right? They got to know Amy, who's HR director.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, because now, but what we're doing now is we kind of putting something else on it.
Right.
It's nothing wrong with coming up out the struggle.
Absolutely
There's nothing
not.
wrong with resetting when you have to reset.
Absolutely
There's
not.
nothing wrong with saying, yo, I got to go do this to accomplish.
Right.
But it's something different when we say, I'm connecting to that.
let me tell you why I'm like that.
Or that's all you're doing.
If you take
And I think
me-
that's what I'm trying to so much say.
Well-
it's not that like when Amy was like, well, what if they just lost their job and they just needed something that's different? Because I know your career, I know your background, I know you have the ability and mentality to get another job like what you just had, which changes your perspective. I'm not talking about that person. I'm talking about the person that's what they do. Their mentality is, I'm just going to bounce from this job to this job to this job, and I'm gonna stay entry level forever.
And
that's a mentality.
And,
I
and
think-
guess what? And guess what? If they want to do that, that is so be it.
It's
but
nothing
to me,
wrong with it. Just
But
not
to
for
me,
me.
dating companionship to me was like, oh, friendship can end.
Right.
And I wasn't trying to build a life with this person. I was just
Well,
trying
that's
to.
what I was.
I feel
talking
like
about.
I'm that guy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped out of high school, 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get my GED till I was a full grown adult. Right? Felony on my record.
Right.
So in the beginning, and I've been a preacher for a youth pastor for 10 years, in ministry for 14 years. You take that away, what does my resume look like?
Bro, you're not that guy. Like you said,
I hear you, and I appreciate it.
No. But you said
But-
you're that guy, but that's not your. That's
I'm
not your
saying-
circumstance.
I'm saying-
Or
That's
your
not-
mindset.
It's
Or
your
your
mindset.
That's not
I
his
understand
mindset.
what you're saying. But what I'm saying is when you have people that are going out trying to get jobs that probably didn't graduate high school, don't have the credentials that a society says you
supposed to
need
have.
these credentials
Right.
in order to get these things. I've sat in interviews, and my personality and charm and my articulation got me through the door, but then the credentials and everything
Closed it.
closed it. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying?
And that's a real thing.
But-
With my mentality.
But
That's
hold
a real
on,
thing.
hold
But
on.
does that? But yeah, that's all real thing. That's
that's-
all real.
It's different.
But
It's still different.
does that connect you to being a companion with that person?
I
Because that's what we're talking
You
about.
can
What I'm saying
understand, but
is
not
the person had
wanna
to be
be there.
If a 41-year-old is a fry cook, it's for a reason.
Right.
I
But what
agree.
Jason,
I'm talking about the
what
reason.
Jason
No,
was
he's
saying,
saying that's
is
what she
that's,
wanna
that's
be.
what they
That's what
want
they're
to do.
wanna
Like
be.
they're
That's the
not
mentality.
aspiring.
Because what
And
we're
what I'm
doing
saying
is-
is some people don't want to. They do what they got to do so that they can do what
And that's
they
what we
want to
said.
do.
We said
Right,
appreciating the
that's-
hustle and
those are-
getting it out the
You know what I'm
mud. That's a real
saying?
thing.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's go back to the whole GED not graduating thing, right? All of that is a choice.
Right.
And see, this is the thing that I have. I think whatever you do, it's a choice. You did what you did because you chose to do it.
Right.
If you choose to not graduate, not do right in school, not take care of your business, that's on you.
Jay, that's a tough, but that's tough, bro.
I understand there's
Because
circumstances,
there's so many circumstances.
but here's
There's
the other
so
side of that,
many
B.
people with opportunities that haven't been afforded to them, where their lifestyle dictates where they're going.
I agree with that. But again, it's still a choice. What I mean by that is, okay, you got kids that don't have food to eat, right? Mm-hmm. If they go to school, by law, they have to feed them. So you have a meal. So there's no reason for you not. If it's just to go to school every day to get a meal, you go to school just for that.
Bro, I see people eating way bigger outside to where I'm not gonna go to school to eat.
And
If I got to go to school to eat, I'm gonna eat outside.
but that's a choice.
Period.
That's still a choice.
No,
right?
it is definitely a choice.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
It's a economic influence choice.
Right.
See, that's
Like a
that's the
forced
difference.
choice.
See, and some choices aren't as free flowing as
Right.
others.
I
You know what I'm
completely
saying?
listen, man. But we hear and we see stories every day of kids who are in those circumstances, but they have Harvard offers because they stuck it out, they fought the fight, they fought through adversity, and now they're going to school for free to change their whole entire life. Everybody has the choice.
Yeah.
Same kids was in foster homes. Group
That's a
homes.
tough- that's tough.
It's
I
a
get it.
mentality.
I get it.
It's all a mentality.
It's-
I'm not saying it's easy, B.
I'm not saying
not what I'm
not
saying.
saying that you are saying that
So
it's
you
easy.
just gotta strip away
saying-
all the backstory.
Right.
Like get rid of the backstory.
Right.
The backstory, we all got stories. I can tell you some stories. You can tell me some
Right.
stories. You can
Right,
tell me
right,
some
right.
stories. He can tell me some stories. We all been through a gang of stuff, right?
Right.
Strip the backstory because you're trying to think with a compassionate heart.
Right.
But
Right.
logically, we all have a choice to do whatever we want to do.
the right thing or wrong
and,
thing.
And whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, we do have a choice. Now, do circumstances influence our choices? Yeah, they
Absolutely.
do. They influence it, but at the end of the day, we all have a story.
Absolutely.
Whether because we know I know some people with a lot of money that are miserable.
Of course.
And I also know
Of course.
people
yes,
with
yes,
no
yes.
money that are so happy.
Full
Yeah.
of joy.
Full of joy.
Yeah.
So we all have
Definitely.
so strip the story. Let's not even think about the story. And I think that's where we get, we're kind of getting mixed into like,
convolution.
so, like, will you date a guy that's on the fries? And you mean to tell me I've been working this hard for 20 years of our marriage and I could have been on fries? No, you couldn't have been on
I
fries.
couldn't have, huh?
You couldn't have, huh?
He's like,
Right.
there it is.
No.
Right.
Hey,
Absolutely
you
right.
definitely did think Jay had a whole car and all this stuff going on when you first
Right, it was a
moved
lot.
out.
Yeah. She thought I had some
Those things
mattered, right?
But
It mattered. It mattered.
I always had a job.
20.
And
That
I
was
always
a
had money.
22-year-old me.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm 43 now.
And that's
Yeah.
43.
As 43-year-old me is different. I'm not really You said, would you date? The original question was, would you date?
Yeah.
I said yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason why I would date because I'm having fun. I'm
Right.
43, right? I'm
Right.
single.
Right. I get
I'm
it.
single. My
Well, that's
kids
a
are
different
grown.
thing. Yeah,
My
that
kids
makes
are grown.
sense.
I can do what I want to
Yeah,
do.
that's different.
So in essence,
It's
if
no
that's the case,
backstory.
if you're saying that if we're just dating,
You're just dating.
absolutely
That's
right.
what you said.
It's free game everywhere.
Now
So-
he changed it.
Now you going.
Uh-oh.
Now you going
Now
from
he's
dating.
changing
You see how
it. No,
Jay said
I'm
Now he
dating.
changed it.
Dating.
You see how Jay
His word
Right.
is companionship.
Right.
No, he
Companionship.
changed companionship.
So
when
what's
we
the
got in front of
definition?
y'all.
What's the definition?
There's most definitely a
companionship.
difference in dating and
The
companionship.
definition of companionship is a person or animal with whom one spends a lot of time or with whom one travels. So it doesn't really say.
So the thing is, though,
So
That's
you
one
dating. You
definition.
spend
But
a
the
lot of
thing
time
is,
with your
a person
traveling.
who shares
Traveling
the
with 'em.
experiences of another, a person,
share
a
experiences,
person's
spend
long-term
time.
sexual partner, a person especially an unmarried or a
That's a
widowed
husband
woman.
and a wife.
It's all of it.
It's all of those things. So when I say,
didn't say
so there's a difference between having a
She
companion.
said she ain't say that. She said
The original question was, would you date?
But we
a man?
changed the
the
question.
original.
But you changed the question today. So the spirited conversation I had was yes.
But when we
I
asked
will
you the
date a
second
man.
question, you still said you would.
Yeah, because in my mind, companionship means
well, now that you
it's a
know the
friend.
real definition of
So
companionship,
you're asking the question
the
again.
question is again,
Yeah.
would you date the fry cook for companionship?
no.
Thank you.
wait a minute.
I know my wife.
He just wait.
No. I know my wife. There's no way that my wife
just
is
wanted to
dating.
know.
Right.
No, he got his note.
I got my note
He got his
because
note.
I know my wife.
I don't know how that note felt.
No.
Hold on, B. You think the no was loaded? So they want an explanation.
Okay, so was I trying to build a life with the
Right.
fry
But
cook?
you are.
No. Will I date a
And have
fry
fun?
cook? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Phase. Let's go.
So,
Yeah. Let's
so
go to eat.
this is about to be triggering to the men, and
Uh-oh.
it's gonna trigger y'all.
You always want to start
because
some controversial.
I don't care. So it's gonna trigger y'all.
What's up?
So my sister, one of my sisters, both of my sisters, probably all of my sisters.
Oh Jesus!
They
You gotta-
always say that, men under a certain threshold, dollar amount, that make under a dollar amount.
had the best sex.
Yes. I didn't say it. I was going to say strong
It's
back.
don't trigger me. I'm very secure in my sex.
Yeah, strong back. So if you make under, so yeah, I would, hey, yeah. Yes.
Oh, so you want your back broke?
No,
That's what you're saying.
I didn't say
No,
that.
that's what you just said.
I didn't say
you
that.
said strong backs.
I said a strong back.
Specifically strong back.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
So,
if
so-
we're going by that saying,
I don't
we
feel
all,
triggered by
we
that.
all started
Not at
from
all.
the bottom, so we all fit that category.
What I
We all got it out of the
am but what I'm saying is we're 43 now. Do you get what I'm saying?
So it left.
So you're not saying age. You're saying financial
Oh,
status.
bracket.
Yeah, financial
bracket.
status, tax bracket.
Well, hold on.
So
The
I
fry
would say-
cook is your age.
Yeah, but what I am saying is
His
because
back-
he
The
made
amount of money.
but
yeah,
the
it's
amount of money, it will
Oh, I
be.
That's
get what
because-
you're
It would
saying.
be all about
Listen.
me. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I would date a guy that's a fry cook.
That's
Who-
gonna worship you.
Because they're supposed to have the best sex. That's that brother
Not
taking out,
just-
hey, he
it's
taking out all
not
his
just-
frustration
look,
on you.
I'm not even a sex. Let me be real clear. I'm not even like a sexual. Like that's not even my thing.
Right.
Right? That's not who I am. What I'm saying is like I'm not trying to make this man. I'm not trying to move him in. I ain't trying to
Right.
pay. I ain't trying to buy his cigarettes. You get what I'm saying? Like,
So you saying the fry kick smoke
cigarettes?
cigarettes?
right. You
got Newport 100.
I ain't trying to supply no habits.
Yeah.
It's literally a conversation. Maybe I can motivate him to do better. I can be like, hey, you can go to a warehouse and make a little bit more money than this.
Right.
And you can have a felony.
Right.
Maybe I can teach him something. Maybe he
Yeah.
can teach me something. Who knows? But I wasn't trying to build a life. Like
Right.
Jason has built a life. Like I have a 20-year marriage with the fry cook. That's not what I was doing. You said, will I date a fry cook? Yes.
Well,
Now that's it.
So-
but
Yeah.
no backstory. I don't care if he had a felony or not have a felony. I don't care about none of that because that's not what
that ain't even
dating
what you was
is.
in. You're not in that. You're not even
dating-
in it for that.
Yeah, I'm not in
We're
it
not
for
even
that.
going that far.
We're not
So,
going that far.
listen, so-
Jason just want to feel vindicated because you did. That's why you changed the question.
No,
when
the
we
question
got
was-
here.
Conversation with y'all in that day.
It didn't. It didn't.
That's I finally got my note.
No, because Jason just is trying to prove himself right, but really,
I'm not proving myself right. But I think the question was not presented correctly.
Gotcha.
So I do understand where you're coming from now because
Yeah.
the presentation was wrong.
But
I
on
did
camera,
the
say
whole
what you
time.
said.
So
So on camera, say what you said. I smash.
I
Did you
did.
say that? You didn't say that on camera. You didn't say that.
I did say that.
No, you
Well,
didn't.
let's say it
Jay,
now.
you would
Say it
smash
in
the fry
energy.
cook.
Say it in the energy you said
fry
it the day
cook
we
will
were
most
talking.
definitely get taken
Take it.
to the king. So that's just how it goes.
She gonna be a grill cook today.
Right,
She gonna
right.
be on the grill today.
Right. It most definitely would have went down that way. But I will never speak with you again. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. It might be about three. It might be about
We gonna have about 6, 7 in there.
That's it. And once you start asking me for money,
Would be saying,
You
after
know what?
one
You
action,
said what now?
can you get
said one
Hey,
time.
look,
Can you get $20?
Hey, here go the call. Here go the call. I'm the girl. You the bitch. Here go the call.
ring, ring, ring.
Hey, Jay.
what's going on?
What you doing? What you up to?
Nothing much, just chilling.
Hey, listen. So it's crazy thing. My son's daycare came up, and I have it on automatic draft.
Look at my face.
Automatic draft.
I got it on automatic draft. My
get
check
this
came
private.
late. Something happened with ADP or something. Some crap.
Drafted.
Do you could you spot me? Could you do me a solid and spot me about $200 until Friday when I get paid?
Oh man, you know what? Man,
Hey,
I ain't even
You
got
done
it.
smashed 3 times.
Right. I ain't, man. I'll be honest.
I mean, but dang, bro.
I'll
But,
be
no,
honest
but,
with you.
but the presentation was okay.
Yeah, it was.
She
Yeah,
had a
yeah,
little
yeah,
issue.
yeah, yeah.
The
She had a little issue.
$200.
You
gonna give
Because maybe next year he wants to smash again.
You know
You're
what?
gonna give the
By
two-
next year,
You feel like he would give
by
me
next year,
$200.
she would have
This is
forgotten
who you've married.
I know who I married.
Yeah, yeah,
I know
yeah.
who I married.
Yeah, yeah.
He would have gave her the $200.
Hey, would you have gave her $200?
No, I probably would have gave her the 200 for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Hey,
I would have gave her the 200 and that'd have been over with.
I mean, the presentation of the story, of course. Why not?
Yeah.
Golly.
I got-
Jason be trying to.
Now I'll tell you what I would have did for real. So I'd have said, well, I'm gonna give it to you this time.
But you go.
But
What are you gonna say? After
this
that?
ain't this ain't the bank now.
Oh, okay.
I can't
Instant boundary.
Right. We gonna go on and draw
Let me
this
be
line
clear right now.
right here.
Don't make this a habit.
Listen. I got you today.
That's so funny how you guys can say that because every time the girl, she's gonna come up with another scenario because she's already figured you out.
No.
Yeah.
It
To be
ain't
honest
gonna
with
be
you, I
just
probably
no
wouldn't-
blanket
after the first
$200.
time-
It's gonna be I'm in distress because you guys will respond to distress.
But then you
And a
have
good
some
story.
women
and a great story.
Some women who will follow that first initial and she knows she got another request coming up. She just come over, trench coat on, nothing under.
Ain't nothing wrong with a trench coat.
laying
Ain't
it
nothing wrong
down.
at all.
Hold on.
Because if we
Wait a
trench
minute.
coat, you right
the
the
story.
story. Everybody be quiet.
Now go ahead.
Let her finish.
I didn't have the full story.
Go finish it.
Make it up right now.
Right now.
Trench coat on. She come in. You know, she come whip up something in the kitchen with the trench coat on. Ain't
Under
nothing.
the trench
The
coat.
high
She still got the
heels.
trench coat on.
That's
She
it.
said,
That's it.
high heels is
Hey,
under
You
the
can
trench
have
coat.
whatever you want.
Why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Hey, man.
That's
Okay,
all
so-
we already know.
Hey.
We know what we need to do to get it.
And then after 6, 7 times, you didn't have sex with the fry cook. Now she done asked you for money. Y'all together.
You a
No,
whole
we don't.
companion out
Ain't
here.
gonna be a title.
Now we're competitive.
Yeah.
Now you done got her pregnant.
Now she pregnant.
Jay, you done got a fry cook pregnant.
Not
Jay.
here.
Went in there raw dogging. He went in there raw
Can't
dog.
do it.
Now you done met the woman you really want to be with, but now the fry cook outside busting your tires
Oh,
out
she done
because you ain't
slashed you up.
answering that phone.
So now that's the baggage we talking about. Now
That's
that's
the
the
back.
baggage.
Now I got the back.
Right, so
Hey.
something he was just
And B got the
smashing.
baby.
Look,
I got a
Hey,
vasectomy.
now let's let it be known. These are all hypotheticals.
All
These are
hypotheticals.
all hypotheticals.
Please
we are all
believe.
happily married.
Very much
But
so.
just answering the question because it's a lot of we got
That's
a
a
lot
real
of
question.
single
Yeah.
audience.
Absolutely.
We got a lot of people in our audience that are single.
But I think you teaching them something because one, you do have to learn to to establish what it is that you want.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the ages that we got married and that we started, in our lives and started dating and things of that nature. When I married Amy, it's amazing that we're even still together because neither me nor her knew what we wanted out of life.
Right.
Right.
We just literally grew together. We were lucky enough
Yeah, man.
to have examples, which more was my parents, and a good strong foundation and family dynamic to help us through and navigate. And we were both strong enough and not willing to get a divorce.
Right.
Yeah.
That was just the thing. Like, it wasn't all peaches and cream.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I could not even begin to imagine dating in today's world.
Yeah, because I think they miss out on
Oh,
that
my
piece
gosh.
of like growing with someone. So it's like in your mind, you want to be able to grow, but then you got to think, at this age in my life, should one still be growing?
Yeah.
And
That's
so
the
am I
part.
judging because if you still growing, but it goes back to knowing what you want. It would be tough.
But it's
It
so
has to be
rare. It's
tough.
so rare to
Yeah.
know what you want, though. Like, that's
It
a
is.
rarity to
It
know what
is.
you want.
It's
And
not
you never
rare.
stop
I
growing.
know
You mean
now
out of a
what I want.
person
It was
or in
influ-
life?
No, now.
No,
No,
I'm saying, but it was influenced. Like right now, I want, could you come over with the trench coat on?
Oh my gosh.
How do I unlearn that?
Shallow request.
How do I unlearn that?
No.
I'm in my head. I can't wait till this is over so I go on Amazon.
I ordered a
Trench
trench
coat.
coat.
I wore
go find a
one.
trench coat.
I wore one today.
Right. She got a whole trench coat.
You sure did. No, see, that's the short one. I'm talking about the long,
trench
The long one, the
like
long,
TV.
the long black or tan one.
Wait, the little
Right.
open up like, hello.
Clothes open.
With the little belt tied around
With
it.
the unexpected pop up.
Right. Yeah. Oh man,
It's
that's
a
different.
package.
I'm watching the
It's a
draft.
package.
Right.
Ding dong.
Who is that?
Why the dingo?
Who is that?
Because they'll have
Who's
to
that at the door?
Who is
Hey,
this?
we got to role play that one, baby.
Hey man, at the door coming in.
It's got to happen.
Look, all the way from the car. Like you gotta get out the car and everything.
I'm stay in character.
Right. Hey, that's crazy. But it is most definitely I like even with like my kids. I'm just like, man,
Tough out here.
it is tough.
Tough out
Like I
here.
done seen my oldest son go through some of the craziest stuff. And this was at least 2-3 years
And you
ago.
want to get involved so bad.
I know she want to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's her baby. That's our baby.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, baby,
Yeah.
you gotta stay out. You
gotta
gotta let them figure it out.
Oh man.
Like you gotta even with my daughter. You know how hard it is
Oh gosh.
to see my daughter cry over a boy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, everything in me is wanting to say,
It's so.
just leave him alone, man. Matter of fact,
Right.
bring him over here.
Right.
Just find a way to get him here to the door.
That's
I'll
called-
expose that he's not for you.
Right.
That's
I
called
promise you.
put it on deck for me.
That's
Put
it.
him
I
on
just
deck
want
for
you to
me.
bring him to
That's
the
it.
door. I've been wanting her to get this guy to me. And every time it's an excuse. Oh, he got away. He got it. Like, what's the problem?
Is
Just,
he a fry cook?
I wish he
That-
would. Because
all right,
if he
that-
was,
that.
it'd be that much easier to get rid of him. But
Next.
you know what I mean? I would most definitely be able to talk that one down. But I think because he has a good job,
That's serious, man.
and has a little influence, he's able to manipulate.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Because she's out there, it's just him and her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's in college. And,
Yeah.
she's out there on her own. Where me and your mama, if he was closer to home, it'd be different.
Yeah.
Because we have a little more control, a little more influence.
Just
Yeah.
reach out and touch. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I'll be able to really get
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
hands on him. But,
Not hands on him.
Yeah.
He's look. You probably didn't say too much. Money gonna be mad at you.
I know, baby girl. I'm sorry,
You
baby.
didn't say too much. Money private.
But it is very
Jay
frustrating.
edits it, so we'll be good.
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I won't put that.
It's part of the little segue anyway.
Yeah.
But it's real though.
We have
Yeah.
to, I will say this. I would say at this age, with all of us being married, and I'm going to speak for myself, happily married. Happily married.
Yeah.
It when you have those conversations, it's always a what if, whatever.
Right.
But because we're not in it,
It's hard, yeah.
it's hard
It
to
is.
really,
Yeah.
really like think about yourself
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
those in that environment.
That's
but
true.
we do have a lot of friends and family that are in that environment.
Absolutely.
And
That's
I'm
the
gonna
thing.
say, I am literally gonna say, like, I think people want the pinnacle Like,
Yeah, they don't
oh,
wanna
they
do the
gotta
work,
have money,
though.
they gotta have
Right.
this, they gotta do this, they
But I
gotta.
don't want to go through.
But
the
then
process.
don't want to go through the processes of getting there because you could build with somebody if
You
they got
climbing-
vision
You climbing that mountain to get
Right,
there.
right.
The pinnacle without the process.
without the
That's deep.
process.
It is.
Because me and Jason, I didn't work for 2 years. I was pregnant
Right.
for 2 years.
Right.
You know, not pregnant for 2 years, but I had babies back to back.
Right.
3 years, man.
Whatever. I didn't work for a long time of our marriage.
It was a struggle.
in the beginning, and Jason was the only one married. I mean, only one
yeah.
providing for us, and it was a struggle. Like, so at the end of the day, if you have if you got vision,
Right.
and working in the vision, like working toward whatever that
Right.
goal is,
You got to climb.
yeah, then y'all could probably build
It could work.
together because we were watching that Steve Harvey interview with Shannon Sharp.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Y'all watch
Yeah.
that? Oh, it was
And
a
he
really
was
good
like,
interview.
his wife is the reason he go hard.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So if you get inspired in that kind of way,
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna lie, Jason is the reason I go hard.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when I am frustrated, I could have that ugly cry in the car,
Right.
or that not feeling good enough in whatever I'm doing. Jason, he builds me back up.
Yeah.
So I'm literally saying, like, people be missing out on their blessing because somebody ain't what they thought they should have been with, or
Right.
they ain't the
That's true.
vision that they thought they should have been with. And then now you sitting around 40 something years old
Yeah.
Yes.
and really can't get a relationship because everything is so
Like superficial.
Yeah.
superficial,
That's it.
diluted,
Yeah.
and
And materialistic
and
driven.
materialistic driven.
Because
We want to
people-
look good on the
On the-
gram.
right.
We want to look
It
good
don't
on
sound cute to say,
Yeah.
this is my friend,
Yeah.
Oh, so what do y'all do? Like, I'm in marketing and
Yeah.
he's in the fast food industry. It don't sound good.
Yeah, it
But he
doesn't-
might treat you like heaven.
But,
you know what?
but not only that, he might have a vision because he might have
Yeah.
that felony. He might have to pay. He got to have a job when
Yeah.
you do have a
Yeah,
felony.
it take money to make money.
But he may be cutting grass on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He may be washing cars or spray. What you do? Spray in the house.
Yeah,
Pressure
yeah.
washing.
washing. Yeah.
He may be
Got a little business.
can build a house from the ground.
Landscape.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's vision out
Of
there.
course.
Yeah.
It's vision out there. But when you get caught up that he's a fry
I
cook,
feel like even
That's
too,
the problem.
at the age, the 40s age, a lot of times when they're single like that, in the process, they don't want to do the process because that take long
You do.
Yeah.
in their mind.
You do.
You know,
I
they
ain't got
think
much
like,
time left.
I ain't got enough time to
Wow.
be trying to build with somebody.
Right,
Like,
right.
we need to, what I'm saying? But it's
I'll be
like,
50 before you know it. Yeah.
exactly. So,
Yes.
Knocking on the
especially if
door.
you still want to have children, you still want, you
Yeah.
still want the things,
Yeah.
the things that you see. But when you're at that age, it almost seems like that the window is shorter.
Yeah.
It is.
Your
At
time
40,
to
you're
grow
more
with someone.
mindful of the
But
end.
it's not though, because when you really look at the age of 40, or when we looking, we got so much life to live. Like I look at all of us, right, and I realize, like, well, I'm gonna say more so us because y'all started a little later than we did, but we're in our early 40s and our kids are grown
Right.
and out the house.
Right.
So we now can do what we want, but I have all the respect in the world for people. I say they did it the right way.
Yeah.
Meaning they built their careers.
They waited a little
developed,
longer,
and they
yeah.
went and traveled and saw the world. And we just did it the opposite.
Yeah.
We did it backwards.
Yeah.
I will say that, but it worked for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked for us. At the end of the day, there's no secret or there's no blueprint on how to build a relationship. The only part that's consistent is not giving up.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that matters. No matter what you go through, no matter what happens, because there are going to be trials,
Absolutely.
there are going to be tribulations, there are going to be struggles. You can have all the money in the world and still struggle.
Still struggle.
God.
Still struggle.
Money ain't got
Money
nothing to
don't
do with it
matter.
for real.
Absolutely
It do not
It just-
matter.
It intensifies the
It
challenge.
really does because now you got more pressure to keep making the money to continue the lifestyle.
Right.
So when I heard Steve Harvey say yesterday, he was talking about a house that they were looking for. I think it was it Tyler Perry's old house or
Yes.
something
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah.
So, and his wife was like, I like that house. I want that house. And he's like, man, we can't afford that. And she said, boy, have you looked and seen how much money you got in your, like, have you looked? She
Wow.
said, you make the money, but I watch it.
Wow.
And
Wow.
he's like, well, I'm just not comfortable, in buying that house. The only thing he could think of was, how much more work do I have to
Yeah.
do to keep that house up and running and going?
Because
Yeah.
It ain't cheap. And I think that's the part that people miss. The more money you make, the more money you spend.
I have that just triggered a question, Jay, when you said that. I wonder if some men remain single because they feel like connecting with a woman is pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like pressure to prove, pressure to, like, I'm providing, but if I get with, say you have, you love a beautiful woman, you're like, but if I get with that beautiful woman, I'm gonna have to keep up with expensive bags and all of this stuff. And so a lot of these women are looking for really good men, and the really good men might be like, I want you.
So it's not that the girl is intimidating.
It's the man.
It's the expectation that comes with
her. She's fly.
Yeah.
Right.
She's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
And as the man, and if you're raised right, it's your job to maintain and even evolve that.
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
So that could
You supposed
be.
you
And
got
you're
to
not-
elevate.
you're not
it's
a broke
intimidating
man.
when
You're not a broke
single
man, but-
in your 40s.
Right.
Because we got married early,
yeah.
and we were both on the bottom.
Yeah.
So, and I think
And
if
that's
we
what make
take
the
anything
difference.
away from it, because we're
Yeah.
getting ready to close it out, but if we take anything away from this conversation, it's like everybody, like Amy says, wants the pinnacle. But it's like, it's work to get to that
Man.
point. Find somebody that you could build with. But more importantly, beyond all that, you better have some discernment. Lord, is this the woman for me?
That is
Lord,
the
is this
that
the
is
man
the
for me?
That is the biggest part of it, and I think it's crazy. And I I could be wrong in saying this, and this is my opinion, but I think that's why people marry people that's similar to the people that raised them. You know what I mean? Like my wife had similarities to my mother, and I ain't talking about looks or anything like that. Although people could say that they might favor,
Right.
right? But I'm talking about in person, in the way she loves me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like when you're looking, and it ain't about the looks, it's about the way you love someone.
Yeah.
That consideration and the tough love even. Like I know if I'm down on myself or I can't feel like that, my wife's not gonna allow me to.
Yeah.
She's not gonna allow me to have a pity party. She's not gonna allow me to sulk in how I feel, because one thing about her, she don't know how to hide how she feels.
That's for sure.
That is the absolute truth. My wife is a spitting image from a personality and emotional and love standpoint of my cousin Karen.
Wow.
She
Wow.
laughs. You laugh at all my jokes.
Yeah.
Right.
Karen laughs at everything. It ain't even got to be funny.
That's crazy.
She cracks herself up. Karen cracks herself up.
That's crazy.
Karen
That's true.
loves me and has never judged me, but has always just been, this is my baby cousin, I love you.
There you
She's
go.
the same age as my mom.
Yeah.
There you go.
So she's always been like a cousin mom.
Right, older
Yeah.
than you. Yeah,
But Constance acts like Karen.
Yeah.
We
And
love your
I've,
cousin
I've
Karen.
always
When you said
said
that.
I've always said that one of the reasons why I was attracted to Anthony was because of his leadership, which was very much like my dad was. He was very. He's the hero of our family.
There
You
you
know
go.
what I'm saying?
There you
And
go.
so, like, I identify with Anthony at a young age. Like, he leads the
crazy.
crowd.
That's-
Everybody
but that's-
does.
But that's what.
You
And
go
they
for
say
what you know.
daughters do
Yeah.
that with their
They
husband.
usually do.
They
Yeah.
they look for someone that reminds them of their father.
And husbands do that with their
Subconsciously,
wives. And
subconsciously.
It's the same thing. So I think when we get back to a place, or when the younger generation gets back to a place realizing that love comes from love
Yeah.
versus
Material.
materials, you're more worried about what the next man got. If you cut that social media off,
Yeah.
if you cut off your the YouTube and all the stuff that's influencing you, and start to have real conversations with the people that you love, you'll start to find that in other people. Because
Yeah.
people be like, man, how he end up with her? Because of his personality. That man who you think don't belong with that woman reminds that woman of somebody she loves. And that's why she chose that man. The way he cares for her, the way he provides for her, the way he tends to her needs. All of those things are the things that she sees that reminds her of the person she loves the most.
Man, thank you guys for joining us and getting on Family by Choice, the podcast, man. Follow us on all social media platforms and in all streaming platforms for podcasts. Join our family.
Yeah,
Join
man.
the family.
Had a real
Follow the
conversation.
It's
As long
coming.
as you guys keep watching, we'll keep doing it.
Most definitely.
All right?
All right.
Peace.